Have you ever wondered about the forces that shape our climate, especially the mysterious El Niño? Welcome, dear listeners, to a journey into the heart of one of nature's most enigmatic phenomena. Let's take a moment to appreciate our planet. It's a delicate balance of forces, a symphony of elements constantly interacting in ways that affect our everyday lives. One of the key players in this grand performance is the weather, a character as unpredictable as it is influential, but among all the weather phenomena that stir our world, there's one that stands in a league of its own: El Niño. Now, El Niño isn't your everyday weather event. It's a phenomenon that has a profound global impact, reaching far beyond its birthplace in the Pacific Ocean. Its influence is so vast that it can bring drought to the plains of Australia, trigger floods in the deserts of Peru, and even sway the monsoons in India. El Niño is a true global player, shaping not just our weather, but also our economies, our food supplies, and our lives. But what makes El Niño so intriguing isn't just its impact, it's also its mystery. Despite decades of research, El Niño remains an enigma wrapped in a riddle. Scientists worldwide are still working to unravel its secrets, to predict its onset, and to understand its effects. This curiosity, this quest for knowledge, is part of what makes El Niño such a fascinating subject. Yet El Niño isn't just a topic of academic interest. It's a phenomenon that touches us all, that stirs our thoughts and concerns. It's a reminder of our planet's complexity, of the intricate dance of forces that shape our world. And it's a call to action, a prompt to learn more, to understand better, to prepare for the future. Intrigued? Great. Let's unravel the mystery of El Niño together. Our journey starts in the 1600s, when fishermen off the coast of South America first noticed something unusual. Imagine being out at sea, casting your nets as you always do, and suddenly the waters, normally teeming with fish, are eerily quiet. Not a fish in sight. The water is unusually warm, and the winds, they're different too. This is what the fishermen off the coast of Peru and Ecuador experienced centuries ago. They noticed these strange conditions around Christmas time and named it El Niño, meaning the boy, or the Christ child in Spanish. It took many more years for the scientific community to catch wind of this phenomenon. In the late 1800s, Sir Gilbert Walker, an English scientist, while studying the monsoons of India, found a correlation between pressure differences in the Pacific and Indian Oceans and weather patterns. He termed this the Southern Oscillation. However, it wasn't until the mid-20th century that Jacob Bjerknes, a Norwegian-American meteorologist, connected the Southern Oscillation with the warming of the Pacific Ocean, thus forming the concept of El Niño as we understand it today. Bjerknes' research was groundbreaking. He discovered that El Niño was not just a localized event, but a global one, affecting weather patterns across the world. This was a significant leap in our understanding of this phenomenon, shifting the perception of El Niño from an oddity observed by fishermen to a powerful force of nature. But the discovery was just the first step. Figuring out the patterns of El Niño, its triggers, and its effects was no easy task. It took years of research, countless hours of data analysis, and the collective effort of scientists around the globe to piece together the puzzle that is El Niño. The discovery of El Niño was just the beginning. The real challenge was understanding what it actually meant. Scene script. Fast forward to the 20th century, when scientists began to unravel the secrets of El Niño. So, what exactly did these masterminds discover? Well, it's all about the interaction between the ocean and the atmosphere. You see, El Niño is part of a larger cycle known as ENSO, or El Niño Southern Oscillation. This cycle involves fluctuations in temperature between the ocean and atmosphere in the east-central equatorial Pacific. In layman's terms, it's like a climatic seesaw. During normal conditions, the trade winds blow towards the west across the Pacific Ocean. But every 2 to 7 years, these winds weaken or even reverse their direction. This causes the surface waters to warm, disrupting the normal pattern of precipitation and atmospheric circulation. And voila, you've got yourself an El Niño. But how did we come to understand all this? It might seem like magic, but it's actually science and technology. Thanks to advancements in satellite technology and oceanographic research, we've been able to observe and study these changes in unprecedented detail. We've peered into the heart of the ocean, measured its pulse, and listened to its breath. And from these observations, we've learned how this climatic pendulum swings, but it doesn't stop there. Scientists have also been able to link El Niño to extreme weather conditions around the globe, from droughts in Australia to floods in South America to heat waves in North America. El Niño's fingerprints are everywhere. It's like a climatic puppeteer pulling the strings of our planet's weather. But here's the kicker. With our newfound understanding of El Niño, we've been able to develop models to predict when it might occur. That's right, we can now foresee this climatic game changer months in advance, giving us a fighting chance to prepare and adapt. With a better grasp of El Niño, scientists could now predict its occurrence. But could they predict its impact? The effects of El Niño are felt far beyond the Pacific Ocean. It can alter weather patterns around the world. Let's delve into this a bit more, shall we? El Niño is not just an oceanic phenomenon, it's a global game changer. It's like a domino effect, starting in the Pacific and spreading its influence across continents. This climatic event is notorious for spawning weather extremes, which can be both beneficial and catastrophic. Take, for example, the increased rainfall in the western regions of the Americas. While this can lead to devastating floods and landslides, it also replenishes water reservoirs and improves the following year's agricultural yields. On the flip side, Australia and Southeast Asia often face severe drought conditions during an El Niño event, leading to wildfires and poor crop yields. But the impacts aren't confined to land alone. El Niño's warm currents disrupt the nutrient-rich cold waters, affecting marine life significantly. Fisheries, particularly in South America, take a big hit during these periods. It's a ripple effect, with repercussions felt up the food chain, affecting everything from tiny plankton to large predatory fish. Now let's take a walk down memory lane and revisit some of the most significant El Niño events in recent history. The El Niño of 1997 and 98 was one of the strongest of the 20th century. It resulted in extreme weather conditions, causing widespread flooding in California, devastating droughts in Indonesia, and severe ice storms in Canada. The economic toll of these events was immense, running into billions of dollars. Fast forward to 2015 and 2016, which saw another powerful El Niño event. This one caused the hottest year on record, leading to global food crises and exacerbating wildfires in Indonesia. So there you have it. El Niño isn't just a quirk of nature. It's a potent force that can shift weather patterns, disrupt ecosystems, and cause economic upheaval. El Niño's impacts are profound and far-reaching. But what does that mean for us today? Well, that's something we'll explore in our next segment. Stay tuned. In our changing climate, understanding El Niño is more important than ever. As we find ourselves in the 21st century, our understanding of El Niño has indeed grown by leaps and bounds. But the phenomenon continues to be a subject of immense research and study. Scientists around the globe are tirelessly working to further our knowledge of El Niño, its causes and its effects. The more we know, the better we can predict and prepare for its impacts. Today, El Niño research has become a global endeavor. Advanced technologies, from satellite imagery to deep-sea sensors, are being utilized to monitor and predict the occurrence of El Niño events. These efforts are crucial in helping us anticipate the potential effects on global weather patterns, and subsequently, on agriculture, water resources, and even public health. But understanding El Niño doesn't stop at prediction. It extends to exploring ways to mitigate its impacts. Scientists, policymakers, and communities are collaborating on strategies to adapt to the changes El Niño brings. This could mean developing drought-resistant crops in areas prone to dry spells, or improving infrastructure in regions prone to flooding. The study of El Niño also has significant implications for our understanding of climate change. As we know, El Niño events can influence global temperatures and precipitation patterns. Therefore, understanding this phenomenon can provide valuable insights into the broader workings of our planet's climate system. Looking forward, the challenge lies in refining our predictions and improving our responses. As climate change potentially alters the frequency and intensity of El Niño events, our strategies must evolve as well. We are in a race against time, but the relentless pursuit of knowledge gives us hope. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of El Niño, we are reminded of our intricate connection with our planet's climate systems. We are not mere spectators in the theater of Earth's climate. We are deeply intertwined with it. And as we learn more about phenomena like El Niño, we realize how vital it is to respect and protect this delicate balance. So, what have we learned about El Niño? We've come a long way, haven't we? We started from its enigmatic beginnings, tracing back to the time it was first discovered. We learned about the people who noticed the peculiar warming of the Pacific Ocean and how this phenomenon was eventually named El Niño. We then dived into understanding El Niño, exploring the science behind it. We discovered how this event alters wind patterns, affects ocean temperatures, and disrupts weather systems on a global scale. We learned that El Niño is more than just an oceanic event. It's a global climatic phenomenon. Next, we delved into the impacts of El Niño, seeing how it influences everything from rainfall patterns to food production and even our health. We also took a look at El Niño Today, discussing its current status and the ongoing research aimed at predicting its occurrence. While we've come a long way in understanding El Niño, there's still much to learn. As we continue to explore, we deepen our understanding of our planet and our place within its complex systems.